Okay, so good morning, good evening, and welcome back in today's class. Today we are on the day 2 of our class. Yesterday, what we
Hello.
discussed. Yeah, hello. Yes. Any doubt, any question you have? Okay, no problem. So let's continue here. So yesterday, what we discussed that what is ITIL and what is ITSM. ITSM specifically a specialized set for designing, delivering, developing, or I can say creating and the supporting things. And what ITL says that it is a set of the best practice. It is a framework. It is a set of the best practice and it's a framework, right? Now, yesterday we discussed as well that what is the history of ITIL. ITIL starts approximately 1980s, 1989 near about. Then they have a lot of versions coming into the picture. And currently we are on the ITIL 4. It's again, I'm repeating, it's not V4, it's ITIL 4. It is a new release which come with a lot of new terms, with a new motive, with the new concepts altogether in the itself. So let me take two on the screen here. So yesterday we started discussion on that part, and here I'll come for the discussion. Okay. So we started our discussion yesterday that ITIL 4 is focused on end-to-end service management from demand to value. What demand market has, what demand my customer has, and how I can fulfill is the value. Maybe people who are not from India. I give you one example. There's a company, there's a telecom company called the Geo, Reliance Geo. So they understand the demand of Indian population. They understand that Indian people need a internet on their fingertips. What they did, they planned something in the background and they launch a mobile phone where you can get up to 2 GB, 3 GB, 4 GB data per day, not per month, per day. And now they have increased the rates of that plan. And now Geo is one of the good company which people rely actually. How this concept come into the picture? Because they understand the demand and now they're providing the value to the customer. Let's say I'm a student. I know that my daily usage of internet is not more than 500 MB. Why should I pay 200 rupees for 2 GB? I can take 50 rupees pack where I'll get 500 MB for a day. My work will be done. So this is called the demand to value. What customer is looking for. If you are able to provide that, then you can say yes, you are doing the end-to-end service management. Okay. Now in ITIL 4, we have two major components here. Let me. I'm sure that now it's be fine for everyone. Okay. So now ITIL has a two major key components. What is the component basically means here? That these says that I have 4 dimension model. Dimensions, like take a normal example of mathematics. Dimension means where you can say length, breadth, height is basically called the dimensions, right? So ITIL says now you, if you want to measure your processes or measure your work, measure your activities, you should follow these 4 dimensions. Or I am giving the 4 different categories. Okay, I'll explain this part little later as well when we go to this part. And second, they say SVS, service value system. The service value system means, let's say example. Now you connected with me. Okay, let's say example that this you guys connected with me and say, Atul, we want to do the service now training. I said, okay. I said, okay, what you expected from me? Everybody has a common point. Atul, I should get a good knowledge and should able to enter into the IT industry, into the service now field. I said, okay, that's fine. That can be taken care. Now, what ITIL says that if you want to achieve that value, it is not only up to me, it is including you as well. When I say the you means that earlier what happened, if you remember when we were kid, what our parents says in the to the school teacher, that I am putting my kid in your school. Now it's your responsibility to whole soul to take care of this particular kid. You beat him, you do the things with the proper manner, with the love, care, affection, anything you do. But my kid should be get the good marks. But now this particular concept has been totally changed. Now, if you go for a school admission of your kid, what teacher says? Teacher asks, principal asks that, okay, tell me what is your qualification? I said I am doing this, or I have done this thing. Then they says, madam or dear parents, now it is equally responsibility. I am also supporting your kids. You also support your kids on the education part. Only then we will able to create a value here. And that is the reason this concept come into the picture. Service value system. It means we are going to define a system here which help the customer, which help the service provider to achieve the common goal. If I say, okay, by after this training, you will be able to get knowledge of service now. But this statement is incomplete if you did not do your hands-on after the class. Then after 40 days, maybe you say, Atul, I did not get anything. The reason can be because you did not do hands-on at your end. I done my part 100%, but you did not do your work at the 100%. So this is the concept of the SVS. This is a major concept they introduced in the ITIL 4. Before I proceed further, any doubt in these 2 points? Then we take on the depth knowledge as well. Let me come to the here. Anyone has any doubt, any clarification required here?
So can you define the 4 dimensions once again?
Four dimension, okay. 4 dimension basically says that, okay, let me take example. Now you need to be evaluate Atul. Okay, like I'm a trainer and you know that I need to be do a training from Atul. How you evaluate me? Number one, you will evaluate me from the knowledge perspective, right? Right, Avi? Second parameter you will take, let me evaluate Atul on the personality perspective.
Mhm.
Third parameter you say, let me evaluate Atul from the humanity perspective. So
Mhm.
these are the 3 dimensions. If I
Mhm.
score good marks in all dimensions, then you will say, yes, Atul is a good trainer. Why
Mhm.
you called a person is a good? Because he help you in somewhere. He is
Yes.
easily reachable, and he is a good non-person to you. Only then you say that it is a good he's a good person. I'm sure you will not say anyone who is roaming on the road and say he's a good person, because you don't have any dimension to measure that part. So in ITL, what they say is that, boss, I am giving you the 4-dimension model. In the 4-dimension model, I will give you the separate part. Like if I want to check my company performance,
Mhm.
how you say that this company is good? You check that company people first. You check that company
Organization.
technology first. You check their supplier first, and at last you check their processes first. Right? Only then you say, yes, it is a good company where I can or I should or I must join in the future. Clear, Avi?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank
great.
you.
Anyone else any other doubt on this? Piccolola, Bhumi, Yinka, Ola. Anyone, any other doubt? Deepika, Sneha. Okay.
Sorry, I
Yes,
have a
go ahead.
question.
Yes, go ahead.
So, if I once did an interview, and the interviewer was asking me, so how have you been able to use ITIL to solve problem with your past organization? Can you? answer that, please?
Okay, so I'll definitely give an answer, but let me take a inputs from everyone here, or maybe let me say, if is Veer joined the call today? He's not there. He's an ITIL expert in our batch. Okay, let me come to Kunal. Kunal, what your point on this question? What do you think?
Can you repeat again? This one.
Okay, so Wumi, you can correct me. So Wumi had an interview, and interview asks, can we implement ITIL or ITSM in our organization? If yes, then how? Or if no, then what problems we must face here, or we will face here?
Um, is
So
that the question? The question is not the problem you can face. Okay,
Mhm.
you said the point. I think the point there is okay. What is the purpose of ITO? How can you use it to solve a problem in an organization?
Okay.
Yes.
So in short, in layman language, what is the purpose of the ITIL? Kunal, you are in an interview, you
So,
have to be justify this point.
idea is like, yeah, like ITR, as I mentioned, that it's a library kind of thing. So it's
Okay.
give the information and kind of like if you are using, you get such kind of the output from your
Okay,
organization or
wait. Kunal, let's take a point here. If you implement ITL, you will get such kind of benefits. What are those such kind of benefits? That I want to know.
so like you can say that like the means whatever the process. If I such if you take the example, suppose I have a such organization. There are like and something I'm going to onboard on the people, but I don't have the process, so I cannot get the idea. The new joinee who is coming to my company, where is exactly existing? Like is get onboarded or
Mhm.
the laptop is get delivered and such kind of what is the actual situation. But yeah, definitely if I like implemented the ITSM in that my company, so
Mhm.
the people comes to and join the company, they can go raise a ticket, the ticket get assigned to
Okay,
people's and the information
fine.
I can see that. So you can say that
So
like such yeah.
got the
Atil,
point.
can I
Yes,
try?
go ahead. Yes, definitely. Go ahead.
Is it like you, so like you were saying, it comes down to service and the value you derive from the service?
Correct.
That's just what I'm thinking.
But 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 do you think that your one liner will be answered in the interview?
Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not.
Then okay. So let me put one point here, Bhumi, for you. Okay, yesterday, not yesterday, I guess on Sunday I was reading a research paper because I'm pursuing my PhD now, and we have to do the research reading of the research paper. So in a research paper, I found one very key word here which can be a solution for your answer, or your problem here, that someone says that ITL is just a concept, and there's no need to do the planning to implement ITL. And the reason is that why people are thinking, because people are not estimating the business value which they are going to become from the ITIL. Everybody know that the operation team, the service desk team, is the core of any of the IT industry. If they are not performing well, you cannot implement any process in your company. But still nobody noticing that. The credits goes to developer, architect, implementer only. So it means in this case you have to be answer to the interviewer that we have to be get the business value. Business value can be on the basis of the process. Business value can be on the basis of the targets. Business value can be on the basis of the problem statement as well. Like you can ask the interview, okay, tell me what problem you are facing in your incident management. He says that my people taking a lot of time to resolve any incident. So this is your problem statement. Now you have to build a business case with the business value on this part. If we implement ITL on the top of that, then your MTTR or your resolution time will be less, because you have a process on the place. So you have to put the term business value in the concept which we discussed yesterday only. Either you can say business value or you can say the value. At last, customer need a something to be a good output for him. So this is the answer which you can put, Bhumi, for a further reference as well. Okay. It's fine, Bhumi. Can we proceed now? Okay. Silence.
Not really. Can you? Not really. Can you put it right? I didn't get it.
Okay. So what I was saying specifically, that if someone says that what is the purpose of ITIL or I, basically not, let's not go to the IT side because these two are the two different terms altogether. Okay. So ITIL is a set of framework of a best practices. The purpose that give you that by following that best practices, at least you can do your work as per the standard format defined in the IT industry. That is the first purpose I can say. By using the ITIL, you can save on the cost, you can save on the resources, you can save on the efforts, and you can increase the customer satisfaction as well. So these are the points which you can cover into that particular area. And these are the purpose of the what I can say ITIL to be implemented there. Okay. Okay. So now let's proceed further here. So when I say that ITIL 4 give me a dimension model, 4-dimension model. So what they say is that now you categorize your processes. Again, I am repeating. Very soon I'm going to be replace the word called process with the practice. That you can say that I need to be, or I can say my service management need to be implement on the tower or parameter called the organization and the people. Means in ITIL v3 we don't have a process which is specifically for these kind of stuff, but in ITIL 4 we have this kind of stuff. Second says information and technology. In the when we scroll more down, I'll show you that what are the processes has been defined in dimension models. Then what is applicable for partner and supplier, and what is applicable for the value stream and the process. This concept we will discuss little in depth because this is a good concept, and this is again a core of ITIL 4 here. Okay, so maybe for the time being, just remember these 4 words here or these 4 points here. When we scroll down for the practices part, then I'll show you that thing. Now I come to the SVS, service value system. Do you know that what is the purpose of creating the Skype, or sorry, what is the purpose of creating the WhatsApp group of this batch? Anyone? What is the purpose of creating this WhatsApp group?
To transfer, like to sharing the, like we can say that the information or any messages to all of them in once.
Okay. Okay. Any message? What else?
Communication.
Communication. What else?
To avoid any kind of discrepancy.
Discrepancy. What else? And knowledge sharing specifically, if I come to that part. Okay. So now if you see that information, correct. So now if you see that I am here as an individual, you are at your home as an individual. We have a laptop, we have a Skype, we have a WhatsApp, and we have a tool. Now what SVS say that all these components should work in a manner so that we can achieve the goal or the value. If WhatsApp is not working properly or communication is not going properly, maybe someone thinks something else and someone interprets something else there. So if I come to the actual part, so how all components and activities of an organization work together to facilitate the value creation. If instead of Atul Grover, if I put a video for you, will you be happy to attend the class? I'm sure not. Why? Because you say, Atul, we need a live training where we can ask the live question to you. It means I'm also one of the component. If I start delivering the sessions in my native language, then it can be a problem for the other people. It means my activities deliver the session is one of the activity. If you asking your question, suppose Bhumi or Ola or Vipula start asking the question in the native language, then it becomes tough for me and you to understand the question. So it means what SVS say that how we all, including your internet connection, your laptop, your system, your family, your parents, your husband, your wife, your daughter, your kid, everybody work together to create or facilitate the value creation. That is the purpose of the SVS. If I say that I will grow, there's a saying, right? Not I, it's we. I cannot progress in an industry alone. I need everyone's support to progress on the next level. So this is the concept of the how all component. Let's take example that. Let me go here. Let's take example here. Uh, in our offices before 2 years or 3 years back, we have a big parties as well, right? A dinner party, or maybe if I take Christmas party are there. In India, we have a Diwali parties are there. Okay, where you inviting approximately 300, 400 people from your team. Do you think that only you done your job? No. In the background, we have a facility management, we have the vendor management, we have the transport management, we have the senior management support, we have teammate support, we have the everyone who involved in this particular work. And at last, what is the motto of everyone? And in that at the end of the party, that everyone should say, yes, I enjoy the party. That is the value creation here. So to achieve this part, we have 5 concepts, 5 elements. Number 1 is says called the guiding principle. Now, if I say, okay, guys, you can send anything on the WhatsApp group. Maybe people start sending the jokes as well. People start sending the memes as well. People start sending good morning, good evening, good night. How are you doing? Everybody's fine. Have you done the dinner, breakfast, all the things. So to avoid this thing, we have a guiding principles here. What this guiding principle means, that there should be some rule, some policies, some instructions that you have to follow very carefully. Let's take example that if I say, if anyone by mistake send a joke on the WhatsApp group, that will be terminated from the batch as well. So that people should not do the bad practices here. So in ITIL, we have a 7 guiding principles. Let me give you this link as well. Okay, because we cannot go in that much depth just to be overview part, but I request everyone, please go to this link. Okay, now we have a governance. Governance basically says, let's take example. Okay, I tell Kunal and I tell to Bukola, you guys are also admin of my WhatsApp group. If you find anyone doing misbehaving, anyone doing any kind of eve teasing, anyone is disturbing any male or female participant, you can have a right to take the proper action. That is called the governance here. Like in our home, we have a governance. If we are doing anything wrong, our parents say, hey, stop it. Otherwise, I'll kick you. Right? I'll slap you. Why? Because they have a governance there. We teach our kids in the beginning when they're starting into the practical life. Don't lie with your parents. Why? Because that is a guiding principle. Because if they lie and they're stuck into the problem, nobody is there to help them. So these are the principles. These are the governance which is important here. Now I come to the SVC, service value chain. Let me come to this concept, service value chain. We are not having here. Wait, I'll show you. It is a image only. By image we can understand. Let me go here. This is. I'll share you one document. I presented that paper in one of the conference on the ITIL only. Maybe that will help you to understand a little more about the ITIL part. Okay, so this is called the service value chain. Now the question come, why it called as a chain? Let me come here. And let me see who else are there. Demi, let me start from you. What do you mean by chain here? Why you call it a chain, not a lock, not a parameter, not an element? Why you called it as a chain? Yes, Demi, go ahead. Unmute yourself and you can reply me. Guys, go ahead. This should be interactive session. Deepika.
Because it's connected.
Sorry, yes, go ahead, Demi. Go ahead. Okay,
It's
how
called
connected?
chain
Okay.
Because it's connected, right?
Okay, how connected? Okay, that's fine. Deepika, what do you say?
Yeah, I was about to say it is linked to each other. I mean, you have to follow the process.
But we did not reach to the process till now. We are very far from the process.
It is linked, like.
Okay, it is linked. Fine. Let me come to Sneha.
Everything is connected to achieve that value.
Okay, everything is connected to achieve that value. Okay. Steve. Yes, Steve, go ahead. I'm sure you're on the call. Steve, you're speaking on mute. Okay. Wumi.
Yes, like someone said, like it's a link, like they need each other to achieve the value.
Okay, fine. Go. Yeah. Okay. So what we concluded now that SVC basically chain says that how these are the linked, right? And that is the actual thing which we are on the track now. So if you see on this particular screenshot, it starts from demand, it ending on value, right? That is the motto of the ITIL only, end-to-end service management from demand to value. Now this is the thing. Like I found a demand in the market that people are looking for service now techno functional training. That is a demand. Then I started engage. Engage what I am engaging here. Maybe I am engaging some other people with me. I am engaging my customers here. Hey, do you need a training? I can provide you. That is a engage. When I have a people with me, but in the panel, I need to plan the things as well. So you can see this plan is on the broader side. Either I am delivering a training, either I'm starting a training, either I delivered a training. I have to plan the things. So like how I plan, I said that training will be start from Monday and training has a schedule from Monday to Friday. That is during my designing part. Okay. Now I need to plan for the current days. For the current days, I have a plan that every day I will complete one topic. The way I have a plan and how I plan that, okay, let me see that what type of participants I have. How many are from the IT background? How many are the freshers there? So I plan that part. And when this training will be covered or the completed, in case you have any doubt, any question, or I found some good article, I will forward it to you. But did you notice one thing that in the parallel of plan, we have a improve as well. Maybe today someone or maybe someone said yesterday to me, Atul, your training is good, but can you speak little low speed so that we can understand? And I started that taking into the consideration from the next phase. That is the improvement here. So if I take this improvement after my training, when the training will be over, what you say? Hey, Atul is good trainer, but we did not able to understand his English. He speak very fast. In that case, I am losing the value because you missed out a lot of things into the picture. So these 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These work hand in hand always. Always. So let's take example that you have an exam in your class. You start preparing. Okay. You go for the exam. You get the result. You improve. For the next exam, you plan. You do the exam. You deliver. You again improve. You again go for the planning. So by this way, you are improving your things in one by one step, and all these are the interrelated. And that is the reason if you see in ITL, they have introduced the term called the agile as well. This is a kind of a agile methodology. Teach a small, test and pass. Teach small, test and pass. Okay, so after this, what will you are getting? You're getting your product or the services. So after today's class, I can say yes, my participants, my friends, my colleagues have a knowledge of the ITL and ITL 4. And by the term for ITL, what value they want to achieve? They achieve on this particular area. So that is the purpose, or that is the reason, or that is the concept of the service value chain. Let me stop here and open for the question answer here. Yes, guys. Anyone has any doubt, any question here? Ask me. Anyone? Go ahead, guys, please. Let me see. Go ahead. Don't think that what other people will think. Otherwise, I will ask a question here. Okay, let me ask then. Is Ola not on the call today? Why am I not able to see her? Okay, so let me have a question here. Can I replace engage with the plan? And first I plan and then engage. Sneha. Tell me, can I replace engage with the plan? Go ahead.
I'm not sure. Maybe once we understand the demand, we would probably engage and then plan.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. So I got to a point that it can be, but not 100% sure, but it can be, right?
Maybe after engaging, then planning would give a better result.
Okay, that's fine. Bicola, what do you think? Can we replace engage with the plan?
Can we replace engage
with the plan? Means I put engage here and plan here.
So in this context, engage comes first, then we plan.
But if
you have to gather your requirement before you plan. So you have to engage first, then plan. That's my opinion.
Okay. Kemi, what do you think? If you're on the call, what do you think? Can we replace engage with the plan? Okay, one more question let me put. If we notice this particular screenshot or this particular image, why there is an arrow from value to demand, not from demand to value? Why? Because if you read here, if you see on the ITL part on the top, what it says, from demand to value. It did not say that value to demand. then why these arrows are from value to demand, not from demand to value?
There's always a lesson learned and
Okay.
improvement.
Can I say something?
Yes, sure, go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel because there's going to be a value for a demand to be met. There must be a value for something before a demand can be met for it, or before people start demanding for that particular value.
Okay, so Steve also said the right, you also said the right. Give me an example now to prove this statement.
Okay, like for instance, the class we're having right now, there's a value for this class because there's a demand for service now, functional, technical, whatever in the market. So everybody wants to get the knowledge, so they can go into demand for such service out there. So that's the class we're getting right now is the value for the demand of the service now we're going into, for the career we're going into.
Correct, correct. So it means that if in short, if I say that we as a human being see the value first and then we say that it has a demand or not. So we guys analyze that, oh, service now has a lot of value in the market. And then the demand has been generated and we started this particular operation or this particular program. That's fine. That's a completely understanding is right on that part. Okay, now from the interview perspective, if you're going for an interview or someone asks, I appeared for an interview and he asked me very basic question. Atul, what is new in ITIL 4? So you should remember at least these 4 or 5 words very clearly. Number one, you can say that it has a SVS and then you can say it has a SVC. Now let me show you the SVS as well in the picture. Let's go here. SVC is the part of SVS. To run this program, this chain, we have a guiding principles, we have a governance, we have a practice, and we have a improvement. At last, if you see, it is again starting from demand, ending on value. Even though if you see, when you see on this part SVC, the same thing, it's demand and value. But on the top of this box, we have a system as well. Like daily classes is my SVC. But how to execute these classes is my SVS. I have a principles, I have a governance, I have practices, I have a improvement services here. Okay, so this is the major difference, or this is the major concepts of the ITIL 4 here. Now let me come to next point. Any doubt, any question, anyone? Because now we are going to be almost in the last of ITIL 4. Rest you can read on this link, because this is the basic understanding I want to give before we kick off the service now part. Anyone has any other doubt, question, what we discussed till now?
So understood, sir.
Okay. Yes, Kunal, any doubt?
Yeah, like can you like explain the improve part actually, that SVC? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Improvement. What is the improvement here, right? Let's take example. Let's go here. Have you appeared for have you appeared any for any kind of a public services exams, any government exams kind of things, or any placement exams?
Yeah, in college time. Yeah.
Okay, college time, right? Okay. So now let's take example. When the first company call for the campus. Okay, I go into that particular company exam and I flunk. I failed in that exam. Okay. Now after failing, what you notice? That I was not good in few of areas. I'm not good in quantity. I'm not good in aptitude, but I'm good in English, because English paper I was able to understand. Then you go for the second company exam. You again fail, but now the marks has been improved. you are able to solve almost 90% question in that particular paper. You again take a learning and go for the third company exam. In third company, you are able to complete 100% paper in all the sections. In the fourth company, you get a good marks. So this is the continual improvement. There's a concept come in ITIL that is called the PDCA, plan, do, check, and act. That is the continual improvement services. Now, this concept is widely used in the every industry. If someone hire you and say, okay, let's take example that you guys have an interview, okay, and I am your interviewer. I said, okay, tell me Kemi or tell me Bukula or Bhumi or Yinka or Ola or Sneha or Deepika, why should I hire you? Before that, I put a question that, guys, I have an incident management process in my company. How you can improve that process? This is the actual need of a market at point of time. Everybody is there who can develop, but who can think to improve the process. These are the questions you have to be thinking. So when you say that I am working as a continuous service improvement manager, it means you should know that how to improve the training, how to improve that process. Let me give you a live example here. My first batch I ran approximately 2 years back, 1.5 years approximately back, right? That was the batch which completed only in 14 days. Quick, it was very refresher batch. I completed the 14 days. In that batch, I get a learning. What learning I get? I get a learning that before I go for the practical session, I should do the hands-on beforehand. In my second batch, that run approximately for the 60 days. Why 60 days? Because for every class, I done my hands-on before, evaluate the things, dig down the things, and then improve. And on the internet, many people like the batch 2 videos because that is too much in depth. In the third batch, people say, Atul, bring something new. Then I introduce advanced topics as well. In the fourth batch, I introduce a little more on the top of that. In my sixth batch, the last batch which I completed, I introduced now create. I introduced the pre-sales. I introduced the agile methodology as well. So these are the way where I improving my training things one by one. That is how I'm learning this part. I'm learning from the continual improvement. I got a feedback from the yes. Go ahead.
Atul, so it's basically retrospective, taking feedback.
Correct.
Better.
It is not only feedback. If you are the ITIL consultant, you should have an ability and capability to see the process in depth.
Improve the process.
Correct. So I got a feedback from many people from my previous batches that Atul, a fresher is good in service now, but he is not good in the coding because I did not teach the coding as well. So I think let me introduce that concept in my 7th batch. Let me talk to my friend if someone can give me a little time and let me introduce that part. So how these things are coming? This is coming from the improvement only. Maybe when this batch will be over, I will ask you guys as well. Okay, guys, give me feedback. What should I cut down? What should I increase in my training agenda? So this is the concept, Avi, which we follow in the continual improvement each and every time. And being a ITIL consultant, you should always think from the 360 degree, or I can say that you can do the re-engineering at this point of time. That how I can best optimize my process.
Okay.
It is not only in the term of the money saving, in the time saving, in the effort saving, in the resource saving, in the human intervention as well.
Better.
Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said so we have to kind of look at it from the holistic view of how can we do things better.
Correct.
Short time, save cost, save time, and just okay.
Let me put one more point for you guys here. When you say that can ITL drive a business value? What you guys think about the business value here? Everybody say, Atul, business value means able to save the cost, do the less resolution time, customer satisfaction. But why we guys, why I'm putting we, because including me as well, why we guys did not put that market is also one of the business value for me. My economic, which is going in the universe, is one of the business value for me. So that is the reason when we work as a consultant, we have to be think from the 360-degree angle. Go as much as while you can go in the beginning, and then narrow down your processes, then narrow down your concepts, and come on the conclusion here. Okay, now let me come back on this part.
So, Atul, can you please go to that diagram, the SVC diagram, please?
Sure. SVC, right?
Yes.
Here.
Okay.
Here you.
So I know you said that the arrow comes from value to demand, but I was looking at it. It's like a loop. I just want to understand that it's a loop. It actually starts from the demand. It goes into the value. Then it comes back.
So actually, this is the view of every consultant is different here. I see what I said intentionally. I said, guys, why this arrow is coming from this? Okay. Nobody noticed that Atul arrow is going from this as well.
Yeah, so that's what I looked at it and I saw it.
Yes. So actually, it's starting from the demand only. It demand, engage, plan, this, and value, and then come back to here. So it is actually a loop, but we as a consultant mainly concentrate on the particular person point only. We did not notice that, oh, let me go in the check in the diagram that how this diagram has been defined. Maybe Atul is saying something wrong, or he's not able to interpret something right here. Okay. Clear now? Everybody is clear on this point? Any doubt, any question here? Guys, you can ask if you have any doubt, any question. Okay, let me proceed further then. Now, tell me one thing. I have two words. One is called the process and one is called the practice. What do you mean by the word process? Laura, I start from you. What do you mean by the word process?
In my language, I feel this is these are guides we use in establishing things, get things done. If I'm right.
Okay, now let me stop you here. Okay, and why I'm putting this point, because these things I learned from my experience.
Okay.
Laura said that something to be established, right? Mm-hmm. Now suppose you are a consultant and I am a business person. I'm running a big telecom company with billion dollar turnover. Do you think that I will able to understand your terms? I'm not able to understand.
No.
So it means when you are as a consultant, you should put your feet in the customer place. Okay. And then think that what words I should use so that he can understand the terms. Okay, this is a learning which I get from my experience. Let me come to next person, not Cami. What do you think, or what do you mean by the word practices?
The technical experts.
How? Okay. My son is playing a good cricket. What is the technical expertise here? Don't mix your current knowledge with the definitions, and that is the reason when we connected with the customer at number of points in a day. What is the drawback what we people have? Suppose if you are good in the technical and you are a consultant here, in the first 5-10 minutes you will speak in the business language, and after that you start speaking in the technical language, and customer gone made. So you says that anything in the technical expertise. Chalo, let's take example as well. Okay, that's fine. Okay, Demi, what do you think? What is the meaning of the practice here? What do you mean by the word practice?
Putting things in place.
Put the things in a place. Okay. What do you mean by the put the things in a place? Can you give me an example?
So for instance, now when if you want to put things in place, you have to
Organize.
organize.
Okay.
Organize.
Okay.
Can I try?
Chief. Yes,
Yeah.
yes, go ahead, Bipula.
So I think a process would be like a step-by-step approach of how we want to do a particular
Okay.
event or activity. Now the
Okay.
practice is the approach, that we're going to achieve this process.
Can you give a normal or layman example?
Okay, so a process is if I were to okay. I am not good with examples, but
Okay, let me
No,
try.
someone
Yes,
else
go
will try, I think.
Yes, Umi, go ahead.
Yeah, so when we talk about process, I would say the step by step, like she said, and the practice will be the method. For instance, if I want to talk about how to take my requirement
Okay.
from the stakeholder, the method, if I'm using, like, I want to drive a workshop to do that, that will be the practice I want to use. Then the step I want to use to take the requirement, or the total the total process as a BA, probably what I will be doing throughout the process, my engagement as a whole.
Okay. Fine. So if I say that, okay, process means something step-by-step execution. And practice means the way you perform that step is a practice, right? So what ITIL introduced in ITIL 4, they replace the word process with the practice. The reason can be, I'll give the reason as well, but before that, let me give you the practice meaning here. Set of organizational resources designed for performing work or accomplishing an objective. Now I'll give one IT example so that because we all are from the IT, we can understand this part. Okay. Why they say it is a practice? Because now we have a concept called the shared resources, and we are building a practice in our IT industry. So what I can say, okay, out of these 15 people, Cami, Demi, and Sneha are doing a work on the incident management. Now, if either it is a telecom company, it is a health science company, it is a insurance client, it is a financial client, any client, these three guys are expertise in the incident management practice. Any kind of what I can say implementation of this practice, they can help us. Laura, Deepika, and Steve, they are good, they are expert in the change enablement practice. If you want to implement change enablement for any kind of a customer, they are the good here. Because if you notice that process will be always same, and the practice is on the top of that. So earlier what people say specifically, that process means that how to handle an incident is a process. And now practice says that how to set up a set of people, how to create a set of people who are able to do that particular work for me, and that is called the practice here. That set of organizational resources, like if I say in this particular training, what I am building the business analyst whose work or whose objective is to get the customer requirement. It is not a process. I'm not telling you the process that how to get. I am building a people. I'm building a set of people who know that how to get a requirement, and we call them as a business analyst practice. And sir, ITIL 4 introduced BA as one of the practice for them. I'll show in the bottom screen. Okay, so this is the concept what they introduce here. Okay, so like going forward, if we say that, okay, I'm working on the incident management process. No, if your company is following ITIL 4, then it should be incident management practice, because only set of people can do work on the incident. Set of people can do work on the change. Set of people can do work on the release management. So to do this part, ServiceNow say, let me give you the 3 major categories of this 34 practice. Earlier in ITIL V3, we have 26 processes and I guess 5 to 6 functions. Now there's a no concept of the function. And I don't want to be going the ITIL 3 now, because V3 now, because that is little older. We are in the ITIL 4. So as per the ITIL 4, we have 34 practices which can be bifurcated in these 3 sections. Journal management practice. What this contain? Okay, if you are a support agent in your company, will you do the strategy management? I'm sure no. Atul, what my work? My work is that I'll get a ticket. I work on the ticket. That is my work. So strategy management will be taken care by the management guys. Journal management. So in the journal management, what ITIL introduced, they say strategy management, portfolio, architecture, finance, workforce, continuous improvement, reporting, risk. So these many, they have approximately 16 to 17 they put into the journal management only. That these kind of practices can be followed or can be used by any of the particular employee of my company. Maybe I'm good in incident management. Let me build a good architecture for my next upcoming customer. And that is it's a journal. It did not say any specific. It's a journal management. The person who know how to manage the things can be categorized in the journal management. So maybe you are an incident lead, even though you are you know that how to use the architecture management as well. I'm sure that this is a little complicated or this is confusing for you. So what I can suggest here, that if you read this particular link once again, you get a lot of clarity. For our ServiceNow perspective, we are going to be covered mainly on the service management part. So now you can see they introduce business analysis as a practice, because a developer cannot be business analyst. He don't know that how to get a requirement, but we guys know how to get a requirement from the customer. So they put that, okay, in the service management, business analysis is one of the practice for me. In that you will find the service catalog, service design, SLA, availability, capacity, service desk. It was a function earlier, but now it is a practice. Now in this particular practice, suppose I have 100 of agents. These 100 of agents are supporting 10,000 customers. This is the concept of the ITIL 4, introducing the practice. So now they are saying, let's have a shared resources. Okay, what do you mean by the shared resources? Let me give you the example here. Suppose a few years back, if I am allocated to a project, I will just work on that project for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year only. But nowadays I am working as a shared resource. It means I am a business analyst for X account. I am a business analyst for Y account. I'm a business analyst for the Z account as well. It means now I'm not a process, I'm a practice. If you want to implement, if you want to get a requirement, okay, go to Atul's part. Atul is the practice lead here. If you notice this thing now in the companies, they're putting up the practices, they're not putting the processes. Like in many companies, not in many, in every company almost I see that we have a ServiceNow practice, we have Microsoft practice, we have a Salesforce practice, we have a Remedy practice, we have a COE practice. So what this means that in this particular practice, in this particular group, you will get only that kind of people, and they can help you in any kind of project for this particular category. So this is the thing which we are going to be discussed in the ITIL in our service now. Like incident management we'll see, request management we'll see, problem little bit we see, change we will see that something, service validation testing we'll see as part of the ATF, and at last it come to the technical part. In technical they have only three things: deployment, infra management, and software development and the management. So in short, for us, if I need to be conclude here as the ITIL4, let me give a little background on a quick summary on that part. So ITIL4 says that end-to-end service management from demand to value. It has the 4 dimension, and it has a one component called the SVS, that is called the service value system. In service value system, we have a guiding principles, we have a governance, we have the improvements as well. Okay, and we have the practices as well. Under that, we have a concept called the SVC, service value chain. Service value chain start from demand, ending on value, which includes the processes in between. Or I can say the processes means engagement is one of the process. Let's not use the word process. Let's use the word practice. Engagement is one of the practice. Build is one of the practice. Testing is one of the practice. And at last, I'm delivering the product and services. Now, at the last, what we read or what we study is on the practice part. In ITIL4, total 34 practices has been introduced, which are broadly categorized in these 3 sections: general management, service management, and technical management. Journal basically which related to your finance, strategy, portfolio, resource management, security management, all the things come into your journal part. In your service management, all the things which you do as an operation guy, your BA, your catalog management, your SLA, availability, capacity, survey desk, all the things come into the service management. At last, in the technical part, the deployments done from one instance to the other instance is in this particular area. How to, what infra we need, what platform we need to perform this kind of task is come into in the last section of the technical management practice. Now, any doubt, any question here? Anyone? Take a breath and then you can ask. Yes, guys, go ahead. Anyone, any doubt, any question? All clear or all not clear?
No, I'm good.
Okay, thanks, Kunal. Anyone else? Farah, Sarah, sorry, Sarah, Kachi, Kami, Ola, Laura. Any doubt?
Understood, sir. Got it.
Bhumi, Deepika, Neha.
I'm good.
Okay, good. So let me bring this here. Okay, we have Ola as well. Kami also joined, right? Who is not joined today? Demi is also joined. Shiva is not there and Veer is not there. Okay, fine. So with this, we completed these 2 concepts here, guys. For our agenda, this 2 has been completed. Okay. Tomorrow we will start from the business analyst part. The reason to put this particular concept on the top is that because once we start the service now, you have to be think as a consultant perspective, and you should know that how or what a consultant should think, in which direction he should think. So it will be session for tomorrow on this part, and from day after tomorrow we'll start on the service now part. Okay.
Ato, I have a question.
Yes.
Maybe
Yes,
I can
please.
stop the recording. It's relating to BA requirement gathering, but I could go at the very end of the class.
Let me stop the recording, then we can discuss. Okay, so I'm stopping the recording, guys, here.